All right, so today we're going to play financial detectives. We are going to deconstruct the revenue of the world's biggest tech companies, and I mean really dig in, to uncover the secrets that are hiding right there in plain sight on their balance sheets.
You know, this simple statement right here, it's the absolute key to understanding who's really winning in tech. Because it's not just about how much money a company makes, it's about how they make it. And as you're about to see, some dollars are worth a whole lot more than others.
Okay, so at a glance, this chart looks like a who's who of tech giants, right? A real skyline of titans, and you'd think the taller the bar, the more powerful the company. Well, not exactly. The real story, the secret to their actual strength, is hidden in the colors.
That's the big question, isn't it? We're on the hunt for the clues that separate what we'll call good revenue, the high-margin, strategic kind, from the bad revenue that can actually hide some pretty serious weaknesses in a company.
So to kick things off, let's look at two companies that, on the surface, seem to be in the same business. They sell hardware. But, oh man, as we're about to see, they could not be more different in how they're built for the future.
First up, we've got Dell. And just look at that bar, it's impressive. It represents a massive $102 billion in annual revenue. I mean, by any traditional measure, this is a true giant of the industry.
But, and this is a big but, here's where the story gets really interesting. When we break it down, that huge gray section, that's all low-margin hardware. It's basically empty calorie revenue. The part that's actually valuable, that little yellow bar of strategic services, is just a tiny fraction of the whole thing.
Now, for a little contrast, let's just look at one number from Apple. $96 billion. What is that, you ask? Well, that is Apple's services revenue alone.
So think about that. That single yellow bar makes Apple's services division a beast in its own right. It's almost the size of Dell's entire business. Apple isn't just a hardware company, not by a long shot. It's a subscription empire that brilliantly uses the iPhone as a Trojan horse to get you into its high-margin ecosystem.
Okay, let's move on to our next mystery. In this new age of artificial intelligence, how can you tell a real AI player from a company that just, talks a good game? The answer is something we're calling the red bar test.
So take a look here at Intel and Broadcom. Their total revenues are nearly identical, right? Both hovering around $63, $64 billion. You might look at that and think, okay, they're in pretty similar positions. But their fortunes, and more importantly, their futures, could not be more different.
Just look at Broadcom's red bar. This is their strategic AI revenue. It's absolutely enormous. It makes up the vast majority of their business. These guys are literally building the pipes, the infrastructure for the entire AI revolution.
And then you look at Intel. Wow. In stark contrast, their red bar is just a tiny little sliver. So despite their incredible history, their strategic AI and data center business is just a fraction of Broadcom's. They're still mostly focused on powering your grandmother's laptop.
And here it is. This is the market's verdict, illustrated perfectly. The size of that red bar is the single biggest reason why Broadcom's stock just skyrocketed while Intel's has really struggled, even though their revenues look the same. The market knows exactly which company is building the future.
So finally, let's talk about the ideal form. Let's look at the companies with the absolute dream business model, the ones that have achieved what you could call revenue purity.
So when you look at these software champions like Adobe and Salesforce, you'll probably notice their bars are all color. Something is missing, right? There is no gray bar at all. They don't sell hardware. They don't have these massive, complicated supply chains or factories. This right here is what we mean by revenue purity. Almost every single dollar they make is high-margin, recurring revenue from software. I mean, think about it. They do the work once, they write the code, and they get paid for it forever. It's just a beautiful, beautiful business model.
So what does this all really mean? How can we use this color-coded view to make sense of the entire tech landscape? Well, it really helps to sort the entire sector into three very distinct groups, or tribes.
First, you've got the box movers, like Dell. These are companies working incredibly hard for that low-margin revenue. Then, you have the AI pivots, like NVIDIA and Broadcom, who successfully captured that all-important red bar and are now literally powering the future. And finally, you have the rent collectors, like Adobe, who are running the most efficient and profitable business models on the entire planet. So what we've really done here is create a new lens for seeing who is truly winning in the world of tech. We've taken apart the machinery of money and silicon. But what about the machinery of life? Well, next time, we are diving into the most complex sector of all, healthcare. It's going to be an epic battle, pitting the drug makers against the insurers. You don't want to miss it.